All right, as I mentioned, it's time to announce the finalists for the new Beverage Showdown that you'll be seeing tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the competition. The end of the competition, you'll see 3 brands present in the morning and 3 brands present in the afternoon. We'll announce the winner at the end of the day. But for right now, I don't have a drum roll, but we're going to announce the 6 winners. All right, first up, the winners. T-Riot, Malk, 3 Trees, Brew Broth, 1821 Bitters, and the last one is Chunga Chonga. Well done. So you'll see those brands in the finals tomorrow, and one of them will be the winner of $10,000 in cash and prizes, furnished by Venturing and Emerging Brands. All right, before we break for lunch, we're going to do one more thing, and that is announce the Best of 2015 winners, BevNET's Best of 2015 winners, and we have some visuals for that as well. We got a video that we're going to roll right about now. Fantastic stuff. Right now I'm going to bring up to the stage Jeff Kleiman, who's going to be talking to Greg Steltenpole, who is the president and CEO, or the CEO and founder of Calafia Farms. Come on up.
How's it going, Jeff?
Wow, this is heavy, man. Oh.
It is heavy.
So, congratulations to you. As you could hear from the applause, they actually like you.
For now.
Yeah. So, we just have we're between people in lunch. So, I just have a couple of quick questions for you. This company's come really far, really quickly, and it's done so while really staying rooted in farming and agriculture. Whereas some might see that as an obstacle, you guys have really been able to build a brand platform off of it. So how have you been able to do it?
Well, first of all, thanks to Jeff and BevNET for recognizing a lot of the hard work. And I guess the whole challenge is how you reduce your dependencies if you're thinking about scaling. So for us to try to be a competitor to Fortune 500 companies, we had to kind of think through where their strengths and weaknesses were, and where, if we were successful, where could we get caught. So nothing ever becomes really independent. So we're looking more for interdependencies, and where can our supply chain partners become real partners, and they benefit as we benefit. And I learned a hard lesson at Odwalla, because we started to make fresh squeezed orange juice really popular, and we had no protection on the supply side. So as it grew in popularity, I think the suppliers recognized it and wanted a bigger and bigger piece, and pretty soon there weren't margins left. So we're just trying to think ahead and try to make those things win-win, try to always look for the win-win solutions in the end.
Is there an idea now that you guys need to add growers?
Well, Calafia's kind of got where it is because we didn't want to be dependent on a single category. So we really look for places, opportunities in that non-dairy, that big wall of, used to be called the dairy case. Hopefully we call it something else in the future. But it's some place where you have to try to make a difference pretty quick, because the velocities that are so significant there. So we knew from the beginning to compete there, we were going to have to do a lot of things right ahead of time. So when you get there, you don't get, booted out.
How much innovation is sitting down the road? I mean, what are the next steps for you guys as a brand, filling in between those branches where you already are with the juice and the coffee and the milk? Right.
Well, all three of those big segments have now. There's so much creativity at a craft level in the subsegments, all those, and in the kind of super premium, ultra premium HPP area, for example. So we look for where the trends come together. We look for convenient packaging choices and try to find a middle ground on the price point between that uber premium and the more traditional national brands. And that's the sweet spot for us, and we try to just scale up that difference.
One final question for you. You guys did just finish a remarkably large raise. For an entrepreneurial company of your age.
Yeah.
How do you deploy that to establish what you're trying to do?
Well, it's not, everything's relative, Jeff. 50 can go real fast too. I think entrepreneurs have to figure out how to hold the reins back just a little bit to keep some in the kitty. That's part of it, but also
you're not mulching with bills now.
It's hard to say because this business is so dynamic. It really is. And we just entered the creamer category, for example, just less than a year ago. And already it's a huge part of our business. And it's we want to be disruptive in that category. So we didn't know if our brand could take to that kind of product. We didn't know if the consumer was ready to consider other options there. So all I can say is you have to figure out the right innovation cycle so that you can, have enough things in the wind that you can push where all of a sudden the wave starts to form,
Do you have trouble staying deliberate then? So if something turns out to be bigger than it should have, what's your process for thinking through whether we go that way or whether we stick to strategy?
Well, super adaptive, thinking. And really, we've had to build the whole concept of innovation is an easy word to throw out there, but you have to first hire great people so you can build the kind of team that understands, what it is to move between these size chunks. And then just rely on a constant drumbeat where people are feeling the rhythm of the market all the way through into production machinery guys and everything else. So we work really hard at developing a unified company culture around innovation, even the way we structure the income statement, we structure all the weekly meetings, all that stuff. We look at base business, commercializing business, and innovation business as three distinct, parallel paths. So that way you never get into this thing where all of a sudden innovation becomes, optional.
That's very interesting. It's not just one category. It's sort of where your growth is what you're constantly looking at.
Yeah, we didn't want to get gobbled up by one of the big guys. So there's no poison pill, but one way to do it is be broad enough that you don't fit into one of the narrow little purchase niches. And so we're probably real different than most.
Yeah, well, you're so broad that you've formed a platform, and congratulations for that.
That's all about the brand.
Way to go.
Right. Thanks.